I hope you guys are doing well. I am fine. It's a Sunday, so it's Sunday convo. So today we just talk about stuff. Joseph Bali Kudembe, hi. J Sekaja VIP, Antonio Random Things, Godfriend Tambala, Derek Lule, Kennedy Omara, 30 millions for Mark X from Car Bond. Will I get a good car for that? We've not bought a Mark X from the bond, so I'd have to ask. I can't give you conclusive information right now, Paul or Kenneth, Paul Odongo. I can't give you conclusive information right now, but possible. It's very possible. We've not bought a Mark X from the bond, but it's very possible. Muyombia Mark, Mugalasi Joshua Mix Farm, Travel Live Vlogs, Sereko Starch. We are tuning in live from the Kingdom of Bahrain, second country, the second country with the highest currency in the world, and also selling mafuta to UG. Juko Nicholas and Murad K. Momo. Hi guys, how are you? So, I've not slept like the way I've slept like today in a long time. Arsenal Pride, hi. Nabali Mukamori. So, Nakumadio Kulakanga will never say it. It's a very long time since I slept the way I've slept today. You didn't know that. But today, I slept, and then I went back and slept. I didn't even run, and I'm going to tell you why. Yesterday I didn't run because I had an inspection, so I had to leave early. Today I didn't run. So I have a friend of mine, Yazimbe Ugayaza. So he built his home. He built his home in Gayaza, and he built it before he married. And and right now he's really used. But when he had just built his home, hey Joseph Okende Nkulabi, hey. So that friend of mine built his home before he married. And it so happens that he would go back home at 2 a.m. He'd go back home at 3 a.m. 1 a.m. was very normal time for him. And I used to wonder, okay, what does he be doing to go back home at that time? Like, going home should be something that you look forward to. And so even after he married, he kept doing the same thing. I think he was used. He was used to going home late. And I think I understood it the last couple of days. So, hi, Martha. Or what I knew, Martha. So the Urbans wanted to visit their cousins. And for a very long time, they were asking me to go visit their cousin. Can we go? Can we go? So for us here, we have a culture. If my kids want to visit my people, they go with their mother or they go with me. Yeah, we don't take the kids and we leave them there. Which together. So why? One, we want to make sure that the kids don't pick up any bad manners. Abana, the kids can be there and then your kids end up picking up the bad manners. So it's you make it a supervised visit. So my kids wanted to visit their cousins for a very long time. They were asking, and yeah. So on Friday, was it Friday? Yeah. So on Friday, I took them for a visit, and they went with their mom. And so Friday, Saturday, and then again today. So I'm home with the maid. Normally, when I take them to visit, I'm home alone. Hi, Kasivante Akisam. So normally when I take them, I'm normally alone because sometimes they go with the maid. So so the past couple of days since they went to visit, I've been coming home at midnight, 1 a.m. And I think I understood what the other friend of mine who is used to going home at 3 a.m. was going through. When you have a home and there is no family there, and it's literally you, because when you have a maid, it's you still, it's you. There is nothing to look forward to go home. You get it? It's just a house. I think that's where the saying comes from. That men build houses and then the women make them homes. So, and of course, then I was relating. Then there is this thing that if you have gone to a sauna before, especially the men, then you've heard the stories that they tell in the saunas that the stories some men come and say, nze wange ntwala tulo. So if you have been to the sauna, you would see men that be in the sauna from 7 p.m. or probably 8 p.m. and they leave the sauna at 12 at midnight, and then they go home and sleep. So of course there are men that probably don't have peace in their homes, and so they end up leaving town or whatever they have to leave very late, in order to not experience the lack of peace that is in the home. Hi, Kenneth. You get? Yeah, but I'm not one of those guys. So I kind of have peace in my home. So I always look forward to going home. Let it be a weekend. I look forward to like going back, seeing my kids. You get? And like a father, I think we grew up. We were raised I don't know how. You get home and like a dad, you want to do your own stuff, but you know your people are in the house. Which again, so sometimes I be there and then we converse with my kids. Of course, but still I talk to them. But then I want to do my own thing. And being a self-employed person, you see, you take work home. Hi Nasa, twaha hi. So, but the past couple of days, I would sit at office. Of course, we had stuff we were doing there at office, and we could do it till late. But then I'll be at office, and I have to go home. But then I'm thinking to myself, okay, I go home and do what? 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 And like, okay, there's no one there for me. Which again, so then I understood why my friend was going home at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. You get, because you go home and then what? And then that gave me second thoughts. Like, you know how we have all this talk of build a home, build a home. I actually think that a single man or a single young man or has no business building a home. Like, imagine if I were single and I was building a home where I live 35 kilometers from town. You get? Matembe Abdul Nassar. Obula nnyo emirimu gyane gikutabuseeko naye ng'oli otya. Fahad Lubuka, VVTI. Valvematic is the improvement of VVTI, so it's VVTI improved. Of course, then there's dual VVTI and then VVTI and then Valvematic. So dual VVTI is 2 VVTIs, and then of course then Valvematic comes after that. Nasa kyekiriwo maani oli steady munange. So I understood what my friend was doing, and then I got second thoughts. But what do you guys think? Do you think that even a single person, me, I actually now I think that if you're a single person, yeah, if you are a single person, you have no business building a home or a house, a residential house. Friday, Saturday, it seems like it's even a year. And then even today, well, today I didn't go to town. Then I realized you build a house and it's a shell. Mwendi at Cornerstone Plaza Kafumbe Mukasa Road opposite Kasajja building at Matembe Electronics. Wakomyewo Nasa kwe kusirikirira kulikayo edduuka ki naye tonnadda musajja gwe edduuka olabika liguddewo naye tonnadda. So munange mwe bagayi, what do you think? Do you think that a single person should build a home either way? Now I see abazungu mbalaba. Abazungu balwawo to buy houses, abazungu balwawo to build homes, because abazungu normally they are almost single until they are like 35, 40. So in their 20s, they have no business building homes. They have no business buying homes. Hi, Chris Da Vinci. They have no business. Matemba baragiride edduuka we liri mulitegedde. Kafumbe Mukasa Road, Cornerstone Plaza, edduuka liri AB16. Ngene mumwagire. So I realized that abana abazungu bonna abajanga batu advisinga your a residential house is bagamba batya is a liability, first buy real estate. when they get families, they actually buy homes because a family gives you a reason to buy a home or build a home. But when you are single, it's better for you to rent and use your money for something else. Single as I am, there is no business for me to build a 3-bedroom house, yet I'm going to spend the rest of my time outside. At Nadala, the owa event, I would use that money to build rentals. Chigwe. Checho. That's why I come out there. Start, I think, my guys, that's the discussion. Me, I got second thoughts about it. Now, I realized why I think of course, when I built my first house, nali sinaba kuwasa mama aban. Nali sinaba. But then immediately when namara okuzimba went, nengenda nenkyala najja n'atandika okubeera nange. Okitegeera. So in a way, I find that those two things kind of move together. You have a home, you get someone. Okitegeera, you have a home, especially one that you have built, because then what's the point? Okitegeera. I've just thought about it the past 3 days, and now I see why it's because majority of abana abavubuka naddala abaana abatoye, the Gen Zs, they take time to commit. Tebacha committing. Olaba kati millennials used to commit very fast. In their 20s, 21, 22, obasanga they are living together. They even have a kid. But Gen Zs, they are single for longer periods than us. Osanga omwana Gen Z nga ine emyaka 27 ng'abeera yekka ng'ate muwala ng'apangisa bibye. Kati ate ffe, it wasn't common with the millennials. It was unheard of to find a girl renting on her own. Okitegeera. So I find the times are changing, and right now I think it makes sense what these guys keep saying. Nti ekyobutazimba nyumba ya makai, it really makes sense to me. So what do you guys think though? Do you guys think that a single person should buy, build or own a residential house? Nze ennaku zino ebbiri zembaddewo nga family teriiwo, tezingaze nti ennyumba eyo yeetaaga family weeri, family bweba teriiwo ennyumba esobola okukozesa ensobi. I think it's in a way it's one of the reasons lwaki abavubuka bwe bazimba. I think it's one of the reasons lwaki amaliriza nga atandise okuzaala batandise omusiba abaana, because now all the girls that you're dating batandika okulaba kati nga gwe ayinawo omulamwa nga balina kujja bazaalire gwe, because ne bwafuna olubuto ng'alufunye walala ajja n'alukusiba. Now the girls, ojja kwesanga nga the girls bwafuna abasajja boyfriends or the guys they're dating batandika kwagala kumutunza bibye batwali sente. And these things have happened. They are happening in the communities. But what do you guys think though? Do you think that a single person bwaba ina sente zizimba amaka agazimbe alabe ekiddako oba ebyokuzimba amaka tubirekera abantu abalina family? What do you guys think? A residential increases on your life expand because landlord puts us on pressure. Are you sure, Fahad? Kati kitegeeza gwe ne bw'obeera singa oba ogenda kuzimba okigire okibeeremu, landlord ateeka ku pressure bw'obanga and then there is something that I heard from someone nti omuntu atasobola sente za rent ozimbira kyennyumba. Have you guys heard of that? Bw'oba rent akutawaanya tewaali zimba ennyumba. Bw'oba rent akutawaanya tewaali zimba ennyumba. What do you guys think? Is that something that we should also think about? Nti omuntu atasobola rent obanga rent akusumbula ebyennyumba obireke oba ekyo tukyesonyiwe tugambe nti rent is... Of course now in Uganda it's not like you need a down payment for something. If you can buy yourself a plot and then nofuna sente nosoko stro musingi like that's how people build in Uganda. Like tozimba mulundu gumo. Joseph Bali Kudembe, where Uganda is going, we are running towards apartments mostly in cities. Yes, but Mr. Arthur, every time I give examples, you only point out my age. 27 oba mpeza di 28. That's starch. Sinayogera ku myaka gyo. Nasa agamba, I think it depends on the income and the dreams of that person. Do you guys have you ever been there, Norota, and you dream that I want to have a 3-bedroom house or a 5-bedroom house? Me, I've never been there. And the sidang how Rota. Me, I think I built out of necessity. I had to build. Which tegeda. Kapresha kali kaze. I had a friend of mine, yali akola wiring. Kigozi nga ngamba naye Arthur, lwaki opangisa? Namugamba Kigozi ennyumba ezo bezimbika. Ngamba nedda Arthur, you don't need to start with a big house. Osobola otandika ne rooms of bbiri nga nze bwe natandika. Jja tugende nkulage nga nvuga mmotoka nga ntwala. Nindutuka ewa Kigozi nga alina ennyumba za mirundi 3 double room ng'ebbiri zirimu abapangisa nga ye abeeramu emu. Kale ebiseera ebyo Kigozi alina abaana 2, so he was living with the wife and the kids in that double room. As we speak, Kigozi yamala n'azimba. He built another house in what do they call that place? Chiti. He got that plot. Kigozi yasookera yali 50 by 50. Then he got money, got a 50 by 100, built a house, put a fence, and then he got more money, and then went further. Then he bought an acre of land. He has a lot of kids, of course. He has been marrying different women. So I think he has like 6 kids. And so yeah, but it's not like he makes a lot of money, but you know how mechanics can be. Saving a mukana akabina na saving a mukali akabina like that. And because their money is daily money, so if you have ways, if you know how to manage your daily money can make sense to you. A residential, okay, starch, Ani. Martha Academy. For me, I say yes to a single man to build before he's married to avoid doing wrong things at the wrong time. Okay, what do you mean wrong things? There's a time for everything. Why would you have sex with everyone if you know you're not ready to have kids? Okay. Without a stable income, why would someone build a house? Atuuze sente in this generation okufuna sente weetaaga sente. So ozituuza, it's somehow not good for young entrepreneurs. Yes. Whenever you can, don't rest money in a residential house. Naddala nga you're single. Okitegeera. One thing you guys need to understand is a house is actually an investment. Me, that's one thing I know. How I calculate it, nze sibala nti ennyumba nja gifunamu amagoba naye njibala nti ennyumba njitaddemu sente zange ze nsobola okujjamu. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. If, for example, you bought a house in 2010 and you bought a house at 100 million, let me imagine you bought a house at 100 million. Right now, that house would be about 150 to 200 million. You get, because of the way if you maintained it properly, even then, if you kept it updated, it would be 150 to 200 million. So even if you sold it at exactly the amount you bought it, you'd still not be making a loss because you have been living in that house rent free. You would be living in that house rent free. You can build rentals and you take one. Yes, Fahad, that's better. Jay Seka Jay saying, whatever what I did was, instead of building 8 years ago, I bought treasury bonds, so the interest I pay in rent. Yes. So instead of getting let's say 40-50 million, putting it in a house, you invest it in treasury bonds. The treasury bonds give you money, interest, and then you use that interest to pay rent, like Jessica Jay is doing. You get osigala toli mwavu. Yes, oba tolina nyumba, but osigala toli mwavu. Okitegeera. And the thing I think that the thing that renting gives you is that you can move around. Okitegeera. So for the people, especially like now, guys that have jobs where you can get a transfer anytime, I think building a house will like pin you down, and you don't want to have that. Okitegeera. Valeria is saying, Arthur, the thing is, abantu okuzimba is okay if you are to keep close to work, but why build a far, then spend a fortune on transportation? That's also something to think about. Why build far? And what do you mean far? Because these days I find that people stay near and then they buy cars that take the fuel, the same fuel as people that live far. I'll give you an example. If you see the Subaru we bought, we bought it last week. The Subaru we bought last week. That Subaru is 2.5 liters. I live 35 kilometers from town. If that person lives in like Nigeria, we would be using the same fuel every day. So I think FIRES is kind of subjective. Maybe it's my time that would be a little more, but then the fuel, we use the same fuel, maintenance costs are literally the same. I think it's better you build when you're still single. Kuba bofuna family bizibuwalamu. That's also something. That's an angle to look at, because you see that friend of mine that I've told you about, he built his house before he got a wife. When he got a wife, also for us men, it gives you an advantage of, if you guys get obutakanya nkyogera mu Luganda kino kuba YouTube okyogera muzungu ejja kijjayo, bwemufunamu obutakanya n'omukyala gwowasizaago olina ebintu osobola mugamba fuluma ennyumba yange, okitegeera. Obuzibu, most people telling us not to build houses have never built houses themselves. That's another thing. Yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing. But you see, Ben, me, I've gotten it from my experience for 3 days. For 3 days, my family has not been home. So I have to come back home. So I have to come back home every day. 2 days. This is the 3rd day. And the times that I've been to town, I reach time to come home and I don't want to come home. Like, okay, why am I going home? If I was one of those guys, if I were one of those guys that has that office that is luxurious and you can sleep there, I would actually sleep at office. But I don't have the luxury of doing that. So I had to drive home and I didn't like it. I wasn't looking forward to it. So that's why I was thinking that if a person is single, maybe they should hold off on building. Okuja Kongo Zimbia in the city center, which is also hard for young people that are, because most people kati bazimba Chira, Namugongo, Gayaza is 20 kilometers from town. Chira is about 15-16 kilometers from town. So really no one is, it's right now, there's very few young people that can build in the center of town. And yet most of the business takes place in the center of town. It forces you to actually put your business in the center of town. It would be nice to hear from people that have experienced it. Okay, guys, the guys that have built some houses, what do you think? Should single guys build homes or not? Ben is asking for people that have actually built houses. They have 2 plots of land, a 40 by 50, Kalaji, and it's really a strategic location, Kukubo. So I want to build Mpola, my 3 shops backside, and take care to singles and Nunji. I also have 100 by 50. Good work, Starch. What are treasury bonds? You know how you be there and you lend government money to use in their things? You see when they say the government has borrowed money from the public, that's you when you buy. That's something that I want to, I've gotten an appointment with someone that is a bit in finance and law. So we are going to have a lawyer, stroke accountant, you get. So I'm going to interview him between 7th and 12th. And then that video will be uploaded later that week. Probably we'll have a video that does like 3 to 4 episodes. Yeah. So we'll probably have that. Gold dealers in Uganda. Samuel, I don't know what you mean. Chris Da Vinci, Arthur, for me, I feel good spending my money. I would have spent on rent on modifying my house, and living in your own house gives you peace. Yes, there is peace. Yeah, I feel peace. Well, I personally, I can't compare with apartments because I've not lived in an apartment before. I see so many people live in apartments. I've not lived in an apartment before. When I was renting a house. You know how you rent these standalone houses. That's the last time I rented. And when I got out of that, I said, I'm not renting anymore. I don't think I personally managing a rent you. Simanyo commitment kati nchaji na manyido okubeera ewange. Yet you'd realize that the fuel I spend actually pay rent, and I keep some money. Let's see. Starch, I'm now single, but I want to build my house when I'm around. Mpola, as you see, a way forward. No kuzimba needs money, and that's the reality people fear. Oh, if you have a stable income, it is very wise to build your house before having a big family and other responsibilities. Yes, Joshua, that's an angle. The truth is, if you can afford building a house during your youthful era, please do it. Because when you turn 30, ojja kaabanga bw'oseka. Lwaki akaabanga bw'aseka? Ebyokukola biba bingi. Athens, the day I got the day I got my girlfriend pregnant, I rushed and built a bedroom and a sitting room house on my 50 by 50 plot. 6 years later, I got money and bought 4 acres in Mukono for my future house. Yes, lovely. Congrats, man. Beauty of renting, funny neighbors, you move, work, transfer, you move, chap. Renting kind of gives you that fluidity. You can be in Nigeria this time, be in Chanja the next time. But you know, when you build, you're pinned to one location. You're pinned to one location. As a person who is single, not anytime I'm going to have someone whom will become family. So it's my time to build my cash flow. By building rentals in Pola or kutuka wenafuna family. Joseph Vadi Kudemba Gamba. The truth is, even if you live in your own house or renting without cash flow, you will never have peace. I have rentals na challenges. Tebasasula bulungi. Abamu badduka kiro. That's another challenge with rentals. Zejaja wali yabeeranga ne rentals nga nyingi naye ng'abeera mwavu eva ng'abantu tebaagala kusasula abamu ne bafiira ne mu mayumba ge tugamba. The rentals, it's not my thing. Me, I have an angle to real estate that is totally different from rentals. Totally different. Good evening, everyone, and all call-lovers. Wabula, these days I'm too caught up with watching live, but I rewatch all the videos. Amina, Stanley. Arthur, we live an unpredictable life whereby today you're working and healthy, but tomorrow you may not. So the earlier, the better. The unpredictability of life might be something to talk about, by the way. Someone might be healthy right now. Yesterday on the live the other day. I know what border in the morning and the evening. I'm border alimulago. After a very serious accident. So Chris Da Vinci is quite right. The unpredictability of life. Make yourself as comfortable as soon as possible because you don't know. And you know, Uganda is funny. Uganda is very unpredictable. You see, the other day I was driving home, and President Yari Northern Bypass. You guys have seen the vibe. It was around 6:30. They about to sleep for 1 hour and a half. President Hanatuka like 40 minutes in Hanatuka na ku bypass. So then natuka kuba waliwe twabadde emotoka ne parking and those are where you get it n'abantu. Now you get n'abantu for 30 minutes. And we were there parking. So Uganda is very unpredictable. You don't know. There's a time we were having a performance, and then one of the audience members said, "Name tandike mangu bichi. Bachi baba na Uganda mwatu tamba. Uganda ino ba na Uganda baraba bunga buti bayina buzibu." But things are unpredictable in Uganda. Omuntu asimbula bulungi ewuwe n'avaayo ng'apulanize mu dakiika 3 ngenda bantuuse wali. But you can imagine someone that calculated 30 minutes to get from point A to point Z to point C. And then between point A and point B, between point A and point C, wali point B president wamusibira for like an hour and a half or 2 hours. 30 minutes become 2.5 hours. You get just like that. So Uganda is a bit unpredictable. Our healthcare system is quite also unpredictable. The economy is also unpredictable. There are a lot of disheartening things in Uganda, you get. But you know, Ugandans love their country. Sometimes I even wonder, how does someone go live in a different country, have the opportunity of getting citizenship, and they end up coming back here, investing everything here, but home is home, right? Yeah, so life is unpredictable, like Chris Da Vinci has said, and because it's unpredictable, the earlier you do everything, the earlier you build your home, the earlier you invest, everything, do it now. As a matter of fact, there's something I'm going to do right now. Do it now, whenever you can. Tolinda. Which take it, and it's always better to build a house before having a family, because when you get a family, it's somehow very hard to build a house of obuvunanyizibwa bungi. True, fees, abaana balwadde, simanya ate ebyokukola bibeera bingi. Fahad agamba, what about to build a house when you don't have a business? What is your say? No, Fahad, if you, because you have a job, you have a source of income. And you know these things of having side businesses, you know, abantu bangi babikoze naye ne bitabakolera ne bafiirwa bufiirwa ssente. Okitegeera. So bwe baba bakozesa, use that money. You can like invest in treasury bonds like Sekaja has said. You can invest in other things that don't require you to actually supervise, where you know your money is going to be intact when you come. You can have saving schemes. Fena tulina gye tuteekateeka obusente bwaffe buzaalizaali. Okitegeera. N'abali self-employed nganze nange nyina gye nteekateeka nga I don't need to supervise that money, but I know that at the end of this period I'll get profit. Okitegeera. Fena tubeeko nga obaako ne gy'oteeka. Actually, I find that the thing with us as Ugandans, I think twatandika okulowooza nti you have to do a business. We think we kukola nnyo kukola nnyo n'okoowa okulira nti okooye. But I find that you can invest in so many other things where you don't need to go and supervise. You can have saving schemes. You can fix your money. I know fixed accounts give very little interest, but it's better than you losing money in a business that you can't supervise. Kuba sente zo zisigalawo otugoba tuba tutono, but it's better that way. You can learn other things, other skills. I've seen some of my friends are making money from forex trading. So I have a lot of things on my mind, so I cannot learn. But I've seen people learn forex trading and make money out of it. So you can learn different things. Probably when you're at work and you do it, or at night when you're home, you do it. So many things that you can do ngatewetaka supervising. But all those bebanga bitebisoboka nga sente zolo zizimba muzizimbemu. Okitegeera. What I have come to learn is rentals are okay to start with as you grow. At around 45 years is when one should think of building a house for yourself. Oh, thank you, Moses. Why 45? Because at 45 I've seen people struggle. Abantu myaka 45 panic ebeerawo nyingi. Baba banyo at 45. At 45 ebikugoba biba bingimu. Because imagine at 45 my kids will be 17 and 15 years. Abo abaana bagenda abaana babajja bamala high school they're getting ready for university. And during that time, 17 years, kati bobo yagalobere planned parent, 17 years omwana agenda ogenda university nomugulira yakamoro kakanamutwalanga. Okitegeera olina otuterekawo bwoba toyagala avuga emmotoka, then olina omufunira okuterekawo sente za hostel, oteekawo sente za tuition, oteekawo sente za upkeep. Okitegeera awo ka pressure ka university katandika kati nze nkiraba. So kati ndaba at 45 years, if I had already built a home nga sina pressure ntwala kitegeeza ebyensula mbambi maze. Kitegeeza abo abaana osobola obagulira emmoroka emu ne bagisharinga ne bagenda ku ssomero. Bw'oba olredde obaddewo n'emmoroka bbiri okwatako emu n'ogibawa n'obagamba mwetwale ffe ne maama wamwe tujja kusharinga ng'eno. There are things that when you think about them now they don't make sense, but when you think about era naye omuntu ng'olina emyaka 3 nga tonnazaala ogenda kulitayaringa ddi? I was talking to my cousin the other day and I was telling him, he's 27, I was telling him, kwezaala walizadde ng'obudde bukyali, nangamba nja kuzaala ngangu nimuza mangu geddi, you're 27. Okitegeera, you need to be giving birth before 30 so that ogenda okwezaala like 55 ng'omaze okuweerera otandika okulya ku bulamu. Okitegeera, but then you find men in their 60s 70s ng'akyanoonya ssente. Okitegeera, atambula mu zi centenary yeewole school fees loan. Now of course then people will come and say fena tugenda kubanga tuwola school fees loan. Yes, I know simwe nanti mugenda kuba mwewola school fees loan, but gye bali abewola school fees loan ku myaka 5 atambula mu banka mu busakosaka solosasula fees amala asasule loan. Okitegeera, naye bw'oba ekintu okikutudde ng'obudde bukyali. I have owned my rentals since 2013, but the truth, rentals business is not good. Era I'm planning to sell them off in January. The rentals, you guys, I find that everyone can find their own way of real estate. For example, olaba fe tumanyi okukolerako ku Bat Valley Theatre. Bat Valley Theatre is a building. It has chairs ne lighting system yawe sinungi mze wenkolerayo sho ku Bat Valley mbanyi nopangisa amataala agange okitegeera. But you know that's real estate. That's real estate. Nti omuntu alina a theatre like that abagala okukolera mu show bajja ne bagipangisa ogipangisa miliyoni embuli lunaku. Kachitegeeza, all he has to do is to market this theatre by performing artist. Kati ate aba Bat Valley Theatre nabo si yaabwe nabo bagipangisa. I think they pay 7 million a month. Bw'aba sasula miliyoni 7 buli mwezi kitegeeza aba yeetaaga okufuna 7 renters of the theatre a month okusasula rent. Naye he has 31 days to do that. Kitegeeza if he can get about 25 people to rent aba akoze miliyoni 25 najjako 7 n'agwa landlord naye n'afisa zasasulako staff ye naki. That's also real estate. Do you guys realize that abantu abalina amasomero schools, they're in the real estate business? Yes, basomesa. Naye he rents his buildings to the headmaster. Nagamba headmaster nze njagala target yaffe ebeere wano. Okitegeera era essomero bwe ligaana nga alikyusa abamu bateekamu loogi bateekamu biki. You get, there are so many angles of real estate other than building those rooms abantu bapangisa. But at this moment I think we are moving towards apartments. Omuntu atasobola kuzimba apartments walibadde sente zo giro zikozesaamu kukubira okitegeera. Nze jjajjange yabeeranga ate era tubamanyi ffenna ku byalo bannaalongo abatera okubeera ku byalo. Jjajjange of course teyali naalongo, but I find that bannaalongo basinga okubeera n'ezi rentals ezo naye nga eva tava mu banka kwewola tekola ki okitegeera. But of course some people babikola because that's the only thing they know how to do. I used to rent but I could give my landlord 5 months. By then I used to pay 190k. I pay the landlord 950k, then I stock food. Ate nali DJ kwa Agenda Club. A nice touch. Atakulaba waliwo watambulanga mu gaali. After me, I think someone should put money in investment like land and business that you understand best. Then after use income to build a house. After a few people have money to build a house in their 20s. Hey, by the way, very few people actually have. Nange we nazimbira nali sina nnyo sente. But then I realized building a house is not about money. Building a house is about determination and the small money you have. Because abantu abasinga basobodde okuzimba ojja kumusanga bwaba muvubukane ku nyumba ya pootako. Nze napoota ku nyumba yange ne bansanga ndi poota ennyumba bwe yaggwa ne bansanga nga njibiramu nga n'okwevuga nevuga. Hey, when I was in Kasangati waliwo guy yali neighbor waffe yali muzimbi kati nensibira ekisumuluzo kyange mu motoka ekimmotoka nenzira ye wakana kino ne I took a taxi kati mukudda ne musanga ngadda mu kibuga nandeetako nata engineer emirimu gitambula gitya kati nga yamanyi ndi muzimbi because when I was building my house nange nalinga omukozi emirimu gyaffe gino egy'obuzimbi anti nanyumiza ebintu by'abazimbi nga naira ddala ndi muzimbi. So there are people that have built their houses not because they had a lot of money but because they also had that determination to also be there ng'ennyumba yaabwe ezimbibwa okitegeera. Antonio Ntambara abugula bu rentals kakati nate kati Antonio rentals tuzitunda ogaba commission tuzitunde wano for the love of cars. Architect did not share the number J Sekaja. But then we bagayi boboli architect omuntu bajana seeking services zo wano share your phone number or email address. Business wezi chono bwezibeera ebintu ebitu bitwala ng'ebyokusaaga naye nga ate business ekyusa obulamu bwe yalitandikidde. Someone once advised me that constructing a house is becoming increasingly difficult and expensive, but also investing all your money in a residential house might not be the wisest decision. Instead, he suggested to buy plots of land or CDK. Over time, these plots will appreciate in value, allowing you to sell some of them when you are ready to build a house without financial strain. Yes. Mr. Antonio, now you mean I'm on the right track to build cash flow. I'm investing in my events career as I also do other passive income, then build those rentals in Pola and Pola. Yeah. Now, yeah, take boy, starch. Olimu events. This is what I would do if I were you. Events of Nyemu success. Me, okay, this is what I would do if I were in your position. I'm not in your position, but this is what I would do as a marketing person. Wagambi plot area 55 by 40 kubo. I would collect money, go to the division or city council or wherever division and see if I'm allowed to actually build a nightclub in that area. Okusinga ozimba amaduuka 3 50 by 40 bw'oba ofunyemu akasente n'ogizimba n'osooka n'ogiwayo ka go down n'ogiwa ground floor okitegera like that, you'd go see if it's allowed and you build your own agenda in that place. I'm telling you that thing can do better than those 2-3 shops you want to put in that place. That's what I would do, Starch. That's what I would do. But of course, you can't do everything. There is a time when I was literally doing everything. I think that's how I learned so much about so many things, because I was literally doing here. I would see opportunities in places. Yeah, capital Uganda like that. But Starch, think about that angle. Olimu events kigeza sound yo mulina okitegeera ebintu embijja kwanguyira amataalo galina ebintu embigenda kwanguyira nnyo if you go that angle okitegeera. But to me, I think in third world countries like our UG, transport, housing and agricultural businesses will always remain the backbone and the only business to survive as long as you manage it well. Yeah, there are so many other businesses, by the way, that survive, but those also survive. Godfrey Tambala mpa milioni 85 buli nansa na 8 miles 500 meters from main Hoima Road. Ochiwulidde Ntambala omulimu nzengu ulimu Antonio broker alya 10%. Broker alya 10%. Vinicards kyekiriwo. Starch agamba, and that's the reason why men die faster than women. Kuba byonna biri kuffe. That's why I think rentals ain't a bad thing, or housing business as a whole in Uganda, but we need to upgrade housing business to management level where abapangisa you have a contract with the owner. The best way to manage rentals is to actually get someone else to nga yakuwa sente zo n'abanja, not abana stress eyo. Mr. Arthur okuba nnyo, live 27 years to be many of us. Tetwagala okuzaala naye we also want women nga bategeevu, oba omuntu ajeewo omukazi nga at least asobola okutegeera simanyi naye kale tujja zaala naye gwe emyaka 27 mingi oba tonnazaala ogenda kutayalinga ddi. But that's my thinking, guys. It's not like it's not the concrete. Nze bwentyo bwe ndowooza, nze bwe nagattagattamu. My first son was born when I was 28. And then the last born was born when I was 30. And ningatagattamu nga bwe baba basomye courses ziri nome ez'emyaka 34 by like 55 nja kuba mmaze okuweerera. Naye basalawo ne nfunamu omusawo abasomye emyaka emiyitirivu because I have to support my kids. Nja kuweza emyaka nga 56 57 nga nkyaweerera. Naye ate baba basomye courses za bulijjo myaka 3 53 years nja kuba mmaze okuweerera ng'abo mbaggyeko engalo. Okitegeera. Very true, Zara Abana, before you make 30. Otherwise, Castaway City Waza, you won't retire. After talk about the business of washing bay and parking, that's also one business that, by washing bay needs good location, because washing bay goes hand in hand with the parking. It needs to be in a center. It doesn't. Washing bay in a residential area might not work, but it's one business that works. Of course, it has peak times. Always nakuzebata. Yeah, our surveyor one aina business say you. Aina business. I'll interview him one of these days. Not time, because he hasn't somesa kubyetaka and all those things. Then at business here washing bay. I'm going to talk to him Fahad. But it's also a good business. You just have to, of course, kuba competition by having better location, better environment, better customer service, and good pricing. Okitegera. Starch tuyiriba nnyo ate tetuwumula okola misana na kiro ate era oba olowoleza family yo tufa mangu. Talk about condominiums, bannanga, are they worthy? I find that condominiums are worthy. There's something that Livingstone Mukasa was doing. He's still doing, actually. You guys come together, you collect money together, and then he builds homes for you. And then when the houses are done, ngakwa unity, those condominiums. They are very good. It's just that if you're buying a condominium that is already done, they are too expensive. If it were like you were like 100 friends and you came together and decided let's build condominiums, and then each one of us takes their own and then you rent them out, which that's one business that is really good. For real estate, invest in land, buy and sell land. Yeah. Kati, that's me, Mr. Arthur. I want to build my buildings in Gawendi. I'm not selling the structures, but I'm selling the plot, because the buyers I'm receiving, they're interested in the plot. It's 70 by 40, but kubo awenansana. Yes, Richard Choir. Hi, how are you? Ozamo Santu Chichiliwo. Arthur, it's a residential house area, many family houses, Mr. Arthur. So Amaduka would be very okay, because people go to Kalaji, Main, or Mukono to buy essentials. Okay. On the other hand, rentals, I have made agreements with the tenants before moving in, approval, but still none of them follows the agreed terms. Obula basabula ampi. Anti bana Uganda betagamu omuntu alina omukono ogw'ekyuma. That's why the other managers come in. Wekitegeera. I thought you should do a video about doing business and a full-time job at the same time. Yes. Some of the guys that I have lined up, it's just abantu sagala kuleeta abantu bayebe kujja kola interview for the love of cars. That's why it takes time for me to get someone to interview. But I'm hiring someone who's going to be in charge of that, making sure that we get those appointments. Because nkwataganye, but we will move. So one of the persons, the people I'm bringing on is actually a lawyer, accountant, and he actually has rentals, Antonio. Lawyer aina rentals. I went to school with him. He has done some lawyering work for me here and there. He's a very good person, and so I thought he would share. And he's a very influential tax consultant as well in Uganda. So that's why I'm bringing him on, so that it tells us about various things about the law. He knows the law very well. He knows the law, and you know. So, and then of course he knows a bit about business as well. He also teaches tax law and all that. So he's a very good professional. Livingstone Mukasa Chaga. I want people like that. I want people that are practical. Abantu batagenda kujja batwe textbook information. People that have been doing stuff. That's why it takes time to get people like that. So guys, our topic today for the guys that are in Kamoli, because I know you're quite many, abali mu Kamoli. Do you think a single person should build a home? Omuntu ali single azimbe nyumba ya maka oba agira apangisa? That's the topic today. When should someone be building a residential home? Amalifuna family oba kati ne waba talina family azimbe? Problems is if someone comes and cries to you, then you end up feeling sorry for them. Normally, it's not supposed to be that way. And that's how management firms come. Exactly. Plots appreciate, bonds give interest, but don't forget, other things in the economy are not stunted. They also grow. Things just become expensive with time, except those that don't appreciate. Yeah. Even after the budget, amafuta tegalinnye. Amafuta tegalinnye, twamaze otutegeera ebigenda obeera mu budget, twategedde bye bagenda okwongeza naye tegannalinnya. But still, I took V-Power, a full tank of V-Power. V-Power doesn't have a difference with fuel cell. Mpozi twatugambe bugambi nti alongoosa yingini. But other than kulongoosa yingini, sinalawo benefit ndala. I got a full tank of V-Power at the same price of fuel cell. So the guy was like, "Obanko V-Power same price of nimugamba gampi. Start small, grow as needs grow. Don't build big. A big thing yet you need 2 rooms." Exactly. By the way, abantu abali single, bobosazewo nti kati kanzimbe soko zimbe like 3 rooms. A sitting, a kitchen, and a bedroom. And make them self-contained. Bana bavubuka tulekera okuzimba ennyumba zedda. Uzimbe nyumba nosima toyi ekinye ebweru. Ebyo mubiveeko nammwe. Uzimbe nyumba eziri modern. Toyi zonna munda. Me when I was building here, tetwalina namazzi zonna za munda. Zonna za amazzi. Then I bought tanks. And then my tanks enkuba buli weetonya amazzi gabeera. Mbwe gaba tegalimu, I buy a truck of water nejja nejjuza. Okitegeera. So we still live a modern life. N'ezebweru nambala n'enzimba ezebweru. Naye nazo za amazzi nazo ziri modern. Eri tuveeyo. tuveeyo eri mu toyi z'ebinnya kitegeera mwabagenda ozimba ennyumba batana muveeyo naabwe bawazimba dda nga zimba toyi y'ekinnya giziike muzimbe toyi eziri modern kati okitegeera Arthur Mukwaya akuwe ssente mu practice tuveewo babroka otuweeza Mukwaya ayagala moroka Mukwaya ayagala moroka Mukwaya jangu ogule moroka ababroka mbaweeza abwe Arthur, is very difficult to build when you have a family because you don't know what may happen to man bobalo funa family buli kimu slowing it down. Yeah, when you get a family almost everything slows down. You need to keep money for the family, you need to keep money for these things and all that. And then naye wali bwoba wali single wali oyinza okukwata sente n'oziteekayo nga te if you start small. My brother's problem now, he wants an architect to help they remodify their house. Naye Jessica ja ba architect bawona tebagadde mpereza message nze nkuwe namba ya guy modifying ennyumba yange oji. It had already a good very nice plan, but I just called him najja napima nakuba ebifaananyi. Man, he did a good job. I can't wait to see my house complete like that. Nali maze ne plaster na biki, but we're going to modify it. Okitegeera. I don't agree with the problem. People saying a home is not an asset because it saves you a lot in rent in the long run. So you should build yourself one. Thank you, Brian. By the way, guys, a home is an asset. A home is an asset. When I was building my first house, I calculated how much I was paying in rent. At that time, I was paying 250,000 in rent. And then I said, okay, so if I build a house in $1 million, it was like a small house. How much time would I have to live in that house to recoup my money at a rate of 250,000 per month? So for me, I just imagine that I've paid 250,000 for 6 years in advance. Now, after those 6 years, if someone gives me exactly the 25 million shillings that I've put in this house, I'm good. Mbasiko zeros. Ochagera. So, when you're building a house is not an asset mu byeso nyiwe. Gwibala nti nsasula rent wa mitwala 5. Ennyumba gye ngenda okuzimba bagimbalide ya million 7. If I build a house at 70 million, how many years would I need to live in that house at the rate of 500,000 per month for me to recoup my money? That's very simple. That's how you don't feel house building a house. Era oyo Martha akola nnyo nganze Arthur. Nti sente zenyina we ziggwerawo nga nnyingira. Oba ewedde oba tewedde we ziggwerawo because I'm starting to pay my rent. I'm starting to consume my rent. Okitegeera ebirala mbikola ndi munda. Kati awo nenduka ntandika okubala mitwalo 5 for a year. That's 6 million. Okitegeeza in 10 years I would have recouped like 60 million. Okitegeera how many more years do you need to make another? Okitegeera another 10 million. Is that it? Yeah, 60 times 10, that's 60 million. Ontegedde kyenkugambi. So omuntu yenna nangu badde okyasikatira nga sente zimbe ennyumba ozina naye ng'osikatira. This is the best way to calculate it. How much are you paying in rent right now? If you invested 100 million that you have right now in a house, how many months, how many years would you need to live in that house to recoup your money? Are you going to be living all that long? Now, after you've lived there, your house will still be there. So you can live there a little longer. And your money, you have consumed all your money. That's something someone that is renting can't have. That's the luxury you cannot have when you're renting. Until you rent endlessly. But me here, if I live in this house for 20 years, my money, the money I invested is over. So now I start living for free. Which I think background is important. Some people don't have villages to go back to. Like me, Kazoba. Of course, so katinze na setting a base. That's one of the reasons why I built to have a base. Then also, I'm going to do a country retreat place. Embere manyo kutabuka kubasajja embere kutabuka Kongo gendo you unwind katinze. The other time nachibanyumiza nemaka na into downing ne kati embera we tabuka ngenda wa. I don't have a mom, I don't have a dad. Jajja wanga atuse kumbera ennyumba yonayona katajijuze ebintu bye abazzukulu baleeta bonna bateekaawo kati naye sikyajayo akitegeeza nze nga Arthur nyina okufuna ewantu wenzirukira. So now I have to also get another place. How about me who will rent a house at 350k, paid full year, then use money to build my rentals mpola nga sina manja. Yes, that's something. Siamanyi we babala rent, but that's also something. Arthur, talk about to be with the car when you are still renting. That has no problem. Fahad, having a car nga ocha renting atechina buzibu. Yeah. Techibanga kona buzibu because a car is not only a means of transport, but some people use cars to make money for them. Which take so don't let anyone ever make you feel like what you're doing is bad. No. It's totally okay. There are so many people that have built houses and never bought a car. They wish they could actually have a car. So, I mean, akazoba. Now, you guys, tell me, maybe I'm wrong. I believe knowledge of growth in terms of developing yourself as a person comes with how old you become. Yeah, but there are some people that don't change. You need to be exposed to constant information, be with people that are better than you and all that. Ochola Daniel, hi. Ochaloy. A house reduces stress in rent, landlord. Even you can do repairs wholeheartedly because it's your property. Besides, you can start small venture on it like urban farming. Exactly. Life is short. Enjoy. Get the V8. No one knows how you hustle. I mean, Jay Sekaja. Don't forget, money spent in rent is never recovered. Plan and choose wisely. Yes, Oza. That's one of the reasons why I built it. Because we can also for 6 years. Okisagera for 10 years woboze tusatu mitwala 25 omwaka jirere million 3. A million 3 for 10 years, a million 3. Let me tell you that 30 million. Tandika ne million 10 take a room emu. Take out jiyingire room eyemu. I don't know if you guys get what I mean. Yingira room eyemu. Katandika okuzimba ziri endala. Mpola. By the time you have been there 10 years, million ziri asatu wala $100 wano obozi taddewo. Gatoli wala. We get you when we finish. Direct translation. One day I look forward to going with you to get my kawundo. If I die, I die. Kawundo jigule. Mweba guy. Kati mama bante ya ize motoka. Ayagala nye SUV. But then ndowooza wano. Antonio Woli. But then ndowooza wano. Mama bane ayagala nye SUV. Oba muyiwemu kino kihari ya kino kibiribibiri. Kubebe bihari yebi. Nze nyina access. Shari yecho nsolo ekibuya ekibera waawo. Akipugana agenda mu katale. Kuba wano tuba tugenda ffenna teri kukola malala mu practice oba vitiz. Naye wano ku kyalo wano ajoge avuga SUV ye. Ani joli ati gwatira okugiragira n'opikamu kokaka. Kati buyo obadde opikani ajja atuwe ssente mu practice. Badai bagai, it's our hour. Mulo sigenda basibula. Chemanyi boba toyize era toyiga ku comment ezibadde wana ezina very constructive ideas. I need the number for a structural architect to change my home. Stephen, you inbox me ku number yono guy. Na yana ampa commissioni. Nga muri commenting nze, but he's good. He's very good. He's a member of this channel. Twagula na yemoroka mu bondi yogo nabanyumiza eyagule mu myaka 2 ngatakanise. Najivuga emyaka 2 nga talina kyakugakyusa oilo yekka. Kati atuuka agenda mu garage oloza buli kimu tebalina kijja mu kikyusa shoko suspension imipiira buleki yagenda okugenda mu garage nga buleki tezikyaliko kaliko kabaati bwe kati naye ng'agivuza badde agitwala up country wa nja kuba omuntu oluyambulira mbunzimbe nga business ekyetaaga omasigula mmotoka emmotoka mugule oyo mama bane asaana pajero wagwemu omuliro agonde anti ajja kukoga pajero ekoza jeke kyekiriwo kansubide taseera ye wakabeeyimu naye nze kati jesse kajja nze kumbala gye mbala nga bwommanyi if I could afford him why can't you mwebagayi nze kumbala gye mbala wano jeke yaŋŋamba abaana bange mbawa bbalaafu naye nze kumbala gye mbala bwe mba nasobola okumusasula kati gwayinza kukulemera wa jesse kajja ojja musobola wabbeeyimu but is good. Omanyi wabaawo omuntu akola ebintu nga ebintu bye nga mulungi sebo Suzuki Jimny kale kati agula mama ni muyiwe mu kigige yagali matemba budunasa ngate muyina kisa banange sawa okubasibula yeno ninga mwebale kuberako ku broadcast Joseph Bali Kudembe, Jay Sekaja, VIP, Antonio Random Things, Godfrey Tambara, Derek Lude, Kennedy Omara, Mugalasi Joshua Mix Farm, Moyombia Mark, Travel Live Vlog, Sereko Stash, Juko Nicholas, Murad K Momo, Bukenya Abbe, Arsenal Pride, Joseph Bali Kudembe, Mathan Academy na Mamo Kono Kasibante Akisam, Kenneth Sengoba, Mpoza Nasa Toa Hawarakira, Fahad Lubuka, Kennedy Omara, Matembe Abdur Nasa, Chris Da Vinci, Sereko Stach, Valerian Serunkuma, Kayonde Jonathan, Ben Wycliffe Mugalu, Nsanji, Samuel Gracious Chidasa, Chris Da Vinci, Andrew Nsubuga, yes, Chigozi Stanley Nakumaze, bane mwebale ku engaging na mwabali mukamoli. I don't take you for granted. Timweda bila pre-purchase inspection in Zikola naro Travel Live Vlog, Vinny Cats, Mukwaya Richard Ozamosantu, yes, Chigozi Stanley, Okumu Brian Kazoba BL, Ochaloi Daniel, JK Ndimunayu, bana mwebale nyo namba bata engaging nga muri mukamoli. I hope it has been a good broadcast. Nzinyina changes emu. Temula banti tetuliba motivational speaker right now. Nina gwingendo wereza sentence nabadde nkyagamba muwereza simuwereza. When I send that money, it means I'm going somewhere. Does that 2.2 kawundo have vita? It's a 2.2 si kawundo zeziye zasooka ziharia. You people aticheyo mulindeeko okwewaana mbu mwazimba nga toddanga embwa zaalya sente zammwe. Abantu balya sente wano. Nomadic for life with 28 million without a job. Is someone ready to buy a car and sustain it? Without a job? Ata without job? Mpozinge moruka agenda okuba omulimu. But me, I find that with 28 million, don't buy a car with 28 million. Buy a car with 10. Keep 18, do other things. Which take it. Ochaloi. Hey, Ochaloi, I'm learning your name. We are used to Ochola. That's why I kept saying Ochola, but Ochaloi. Yeah. But hey guys, I wish you a very lovely evening. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Thank you for sharing info. Girlfriend will feed him. Agule moroka million abiri munana. Bagitambwire mune girlfriend agule mmere. But hey guys, did you steal the 20? Jeke abantu bera niseniza nga atunze ttaka. Nomadic for life ebibuzo bibino. Sente wabyenzi be gwazijjewe million 28. Zavuddewa. Why? Soko Joe to them. Kale guys, I wish you a very lovely evening. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Mukama bawo mukisa.